Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be looking at the weirdest ever r/am I the a-hole posts of all time. Genuinely, these are some of the weirdest and wildest ones that I've ever seen, and as this video goes on, they only get worse. Am I the a-hole for quitting a date on the spot? I'm 32 and it was my first date with a 27-year-old woman. It was a dinner at a patio-style restaurant and it was going well. I didn't like that she put her phone on the table as soon as she arrived, but she wasn't checking on it, so whatever. Okay, bit of a weird ick. Issue was drinks and appetizers arrived and I moved her phone to give the waitress some space. The recording app was running and I reacted in shock. Why the fuck are you recording this? And stood up, paid and went home. She is now calling me an a-hole and abusive over social media. Her main point is that I left her there when we had previously talked about me giving her a ride back home after the date, and also rude as hell for raising my voice and using swear words, which, okay, I did, but it was a shocking experience and I really think it was a natural reaction. Am I the a-hole? Okay, so first off, I'm going to say that I would be very shocked if I was on a first date and the other person was recording the whole thing. Like, is it just voice recording? I guess it doesn't matter what type of recording it is, but it would freak me out because it would make me think, wait, are you going to go home and like analyze my performance here? Have you got other people and are you going to put them on a spreadsheet like in Excel and compare the performance like you're some sort of like data analyst? Like, I would just be overthinking this. Or are you a journalist? And I'm like, you know, you're going to find out I'm a mass murderer. I mean, I'm not a mass murderer, but I don't know. I mean, are you going to like, I would just be overthinking everything. I'm not a mass murderer, by the way, guys. Don't know why I brought that up. Well, that's what I would say if I was a mass murderer. So maybe I am, you know. Just keep you guessing, right? Keep you on your toes a little bit. Ooh, don't come up to me in public, right? You might not make it up. That's too far. Sorry, guys, went away. It's this fucking chair. Shift, men, and accountability, blaming everything on chairs. Anyway, I don't know how we got that far off topic. I think she's the a-hole for recording you without your consent. I think that's totally fair. But obviously the way you've handled it is kind of, you haven't got the answer of why she was recording, because obviously you have acted like aggressively. Obviously you stood up in the restaurant, you were swearing at her, like, you know, it was in front of everyone. Now I know from your standpoint, emotionally, yes, you're well within your rights to feel like hurt by this and react this way, but she's also probably going to get very defensive here and not give you the actual answer. I just wish that you could have, you know, maybe kept it together and be like, are you recording? Like, why are you recording this? Like, is there something I should know? And then she would have possibly have been honest with you. But again, she is in the wrong for recording at the start. I just think this is so strange. I really want to know why she was recording. Like, why? I wonder if she's got like a secret kind of like blog website or something and she kind of, you know, goes home and just writes the transcript for all her dates and she has like a little niche audience. I mean, I'm making up theories off the top of my head here, but it's exciting, isn't it? So yeah, you're not the a-hole, but I really wish that you could have got to the bottom, just for me, selfishly, of what the reason for this was. What are the comments saying? Not the a-hole, you aren't her content. Recording your date is a sign that she doesn't fully understand consent, and if she was worried about her safety in a public space, why would she get in a car alone with you? Honestly, I don't think she would have been worried. Like, she might have been worried for her safety, but I don't think that's the reason why she was recording, because it was just kind of audio. And why would she record the whole date? You know, maybe it's like the afterwards, or I don't know. I don't know. This is it again. I don't think there is any like logical reason for you to record somebody without their consent. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. I'm just trying to think how I would react if this happened to me. But like me doing YouTube, I would think that it was like, I don't know, like another commentary creator trying to take me down. I've got him on tape. Look, he eats potato skins. Get him. Cancel him. That man's got a shit palate. Oh, okay. So OP, the person that wrote this, actually said the reason why she recorded is for safety, she said. So it is for safety. Well, obviously she can just kind of, I don't know. Let me know how you would feel if she was more upfront about this. If you were on a first date with someone and they said, do you mind if I record this, just audio, just for my safety? How would you feel? Like, let me know if if you would be comfortable with that. Because even then, like, if someone was going to like record me on a first date, I don't know if it's because I record for a living, but I would be like, oh, I just don't really feel comfortable about this. Like, I'm not a weirdo, but then if I was a weirdo, I would say I'm not a weirdo. So I can't really convince you that I'm normal and everything, but I just don't really like, I just don't really want to be on recording here. I don't know. It's such a tough one, but yeah, she's the a-hole, like I've just said. Am I the a-hole for telling my in-laws exactly where my husband was when I was in labour? Ooh, this is not going to be fun, is it? I gave birth to my son 10 weeks ago. I went through an exhausting period while I was nearing my due date. I was experiencing discomfort and wanted my husband by my side when I go into labour, but he'd go out every night to hang out at his friend's place and watch football games. I suggested that he watch games at home just in case, but he was having none of it and said he had to attend games night at his brothers and friends' place along with his buddies. He said they had certain, how can I describe it, rituals when watching a game and he can't enjoy doing it at home or anywhere else. Rituals? What are they doing? All playing soggy biscuit before the match kicks off? Bloody rituals. Gotta do it. Every time we've done it, we've won. So, can't let the team down tonight. Your time to eat it, Granda. Oh, guys, what's going on? Moving on. Let's read the entire thing before we make comments, can we? The night of our son's birth, my water broke while my husband was at his buddy's place watching a game. I called him and told him to get home and take me to the hospital. He said he was coming, but he didn't. What? I ended up calling my sister, she lives nearby, and she took me to the hospital. My husband shows up 2 hours later after he kept calling, asking if I was still in labour and that he was almost done watching the game. He was able to make it on time for our son's birth, but I was furious with him, mad and disappointed. He apologised profoundly and had been working on regaining my trust and respect for him. After what he's done, he's otherwise very supportive and involved in our son's care. That's nice of him. Last night, I was at my in-laws' house for dinner and we were talking about my son's birth date. My husband suddenly started recalling what happened that night and basically started lying about driving me to the hospital, waiting and feeling stressed out and standing on his feet for so long without food or even water. Oh, he's so strong, isn't he? I was confused. I said no. None of this was true. None of this happened. In fact, he was watching a game when I went into labour and I wanted him to drive me to the hospital, but he didn't show up till 2 hours later. My mother-in-law, who takes no shit from anybody and whom everyone fears, lost it on him, yelling, asking him if that was true, and he kept quiet. She started berating him left and right, telling him to sit down and shut up when she stood up to argue, then told him to stand up when he was sitting arguing. Everyone was laughing at how she basically treated him as if he was a boy in trouble. She kept saying, shame, shame, shame on you. And this is not how I raise my children to treat their wives. Jordan, you are a disgrace. And I'm disappointed because of what I heard about you. Go on, mother. Go on, fucking give it to the man. He literally swallowed every bit of his mother's berating and didn't say anything till we got home, where he went nuts saying I made him look neglectful, a bad husband and father by telling the family about where he was and said I shouldn't have said anything, but I argued it wasn't okay for him to lie and play hero in front of his parents. Very true, love. He said I just caused a rift between him and his family and asked if I was happier now. Am I the arsehole? Should I have not said anything? Should you have not said anything, love? Love, you did the bloody Lord's work. You fucking stuck it to him. The lying git. Oh, God, my God. Can you feel that? I can just feel my blood filling with life. Oh, God, it feels like I'm just fucking shooting up right now with just happiness. Strap the arm up, put it in. There is an edit, which we'll read before we, go through the entire thing again. Edit to say that he's done similar things in the past since he's a major enthusiast of football and hockey, but I didn't expect it to get to that. Also, this is not our first baby together. We have a 4-year-old son. Also, was he probably thinking, she's been round the block. She knows her way around the hospital. She doesn't need me anymore. I tell you what, she'd probably walk it there, right? It'll do her the world of good. Get some fresh air. Why does she need me to take her the bloody matches on? First off, like I said, the whole rituals thing, I feel like you need to go. Or you need to do what the previous person did in the first date and just kind of, secretly record them. I need to know what they mean by rituals. I don't think, they just get chips and dips and kind of, eat them while the match is on. Rituals sound a lot more sinister. Like, are they sacrificing a child before they watch the match? Something's going on on here that all of them need to be present for, and I'm a little bit worried. Because if you need to miss the birth of your son to go to a ritual, chances are your husband's in a cult. Fucking ritual? Oh, what's your husband doing tonight? Oh, nothing much. Pretty chill. Just his rituals. With all his buddies that he can't miss. Bloody ritual. Now, obviously the ritual thing's alarming, but not as alarming as you telling your husband, look, my waters have broke, can you take me to the hospital? And his exact words were asking you if you're still in labour and that he was almost done watching the game. So he knows that you're in, possibly the worst pain of your entire life right now. And he's like, actually, I just don't really fancy being by your side. I mean, I can't do anything. No, the game's on. The team need me more than you. Like, I have more of an influence on the team, obviously, with our rituals, than I have with you. What rituals can I do to you, love? Right? There's no ritual I can do to make the baby come out quicker. So I think the team need me right now. Okay, these people that don't know I exist, they need me more than the one that does. Bloody hell. I feel like this is a dumpable offence. Like, if he didn't know, and you couldn't get through to him, his phone was off because he was working or something, then it's like, oh, well, that's like explainable. Obviously, you would like him to keep his phone on. Whatever. But the fact he knew that you were having a baby, it's almost like this one's not important to him. Like, he's been through the whole childbirth thing, the first time, and he's like, the second time. Just the same thing. Hit it? Just this. Once you've done it once, you can do it 1,000,000 times, Sir, this woman has grew your child for 9 months. 9 months. And now is about to go through the most painful part. You could at least be there. Just show some appreciation. Just hold her hand. Tell her she's amazing. Bloody hell. Like, also his mates. Wouldn't his mates be like, mate, your girlfriend's literally is in labour right now. You're not going to go? Like, we're 4-0 up. The game's done. Just go. Say, nah, can't be arsed. Nah, I'd rather just sit here and, do the rituals. Yeah. I also love that his mother really put him in his place because obviously, like you said, your mother-in-law doesn't take shit from anyone. Like, people clearly respect her, and she clearly just tells it as it is. So him hearing that from his own mother is just so good because we've reacted to boy mums, and some boy mums just side with their son no matter what. So it is really good to see his own mother-in-law and you going at him for this, so he knows how bad it actually is. However, it doesn't actually seem like he knows how bad it is, because it's actually even worse that he's lied to his family and made it out as if he's a white knight. It's how far he went with his story, saying, oh, I was feeling really stressed out and I was standing on my feet for so long without food or even water. You're not the one pushing the baby out. What? Oh yeah, can everybody just feel sorry for me right now? I know that, my girlfriend, my wife, was pushing a human out of, a tiny little space, but I had no food or water for an hour. So can we just kind of, let's share out the sympathy here. What? You bellend! If I could shoot you right now, I wouldn't do it, but I'd be thinking about it, fella. I do feel like your husband isn't the nicest bloke. He seems really strange. And it almost seems like I don't obviously know this person, and I'm literally going off just one story, but it seems like he's a real people pleaser, and he needs everybody's kind of admiration and affection, but he doesn't respect it from you. He needs to be at his friends to watch a football game because he doesn't want to seem bad to his friends, even though if he just said, look, my wife's in labour, that would be totally fine and they would respect it if they were true friends. And also when he goes to his family's house, he needs to kind of show off in front of them and show that how good of a person he is, but he doesn't show that same respect to you, and he doesn't want to seem like a good person to you, the one person who should be the main person in his life. God, this one is wild. This is so mental. Out of all the Am I the A-hole post we've read through, I think this one could be the most mental. Am I the A-hole for throwing away my boyfriend's potentially illegal yogurt collection? They're selling illegal yogurts now? Okay. I'm intrigued. Getting that Muller corner cocaine, am I right? Just in the corner, fucking... Oh, get in. Love when the chocolate balls go up. I'm a 29 female. My boyfriend is a 30 male. We've been living together for 2 years in a little studio in a very expensive big US city. Okay, no need to brag, we get it. My boyfriend grew up rurally with lots of space, enough to collect all kind of things. He collected action figures and video games and all the normal kid stuff when he was young, but as he grew older, he became interested in more unusual things. As a teen, he had 8 guinea pigs, 8 of different types from different breeders. Since Tide Pods were released 7 years ago, he saved one of every kind of Tide Pod. He's got a big box of an international variety of electric insulators, those little ceramic hats that power lines wrap around on power poles. Okay. I mean, at least he's got a hobby. The 8 guinea pigs thing, don't really know how to kind of go about that one, because that's like a living thing. The Tide Pod thing, yeah, as long as he's not eating them. He's not a hoarder. He's usually neat. Just used to having lots of space for his bizarro collections. At his parents' ranch, he has 2 big rooms full of containers of weird and impressive things. I think he is a hoarder. Possibly, you know, obviously this is something that you can't just kind of turn off, you know? Like, this is something that is like a bit of an addiction. I don't want to say he has an addiction, but 2 full rooms of just things he's collected. It is pretty impressive, I will give him that. He recently became interested in yogurt. He's always hated dairy products until about a year ago. He's not just started drinking milk and sharing ice cream with me, but he's found a love for yogurts. So niche. So he now collects them. Of course. The problem is that they're perishable. So until earlier today, our little 550 square foot studio contained about 2,100 cups of yogurt. What? Bro, you might as well have shares in Mullacona. It comes in tons of varieties, different types, flavors, textures, containers, made by different companies in different countries. This is like crack to my boyfriend. So he tried to pretty much save a sample of everything he could find. This is mental. He filled our fridge, bought a new fridge, and then another tiny bedside fridge. He said he didn't want to walk to the fridge at night, but it was obviously a ruse to get more yogurt space. These fridges are filled up with yogurts, and if you keep them for long, they smell bad. Sometimes the packaging breaks, so our apartment was smelling like rotten milk for the last 2 weeks, and my boyfriend's attitude was, oh, it's fine, and just deal with it for a little longer, until I pulled the plug and threw it all out this morning. I was looking at my groceries, which I had to put beside the fridge because there was no space, and everything smelt like death, and then I kinda snapped and threw it all away. Whew, breathe. Wow. This is amazing. God, they should make a movie out of this. Genuinely, I'm hooked. My boyfriend is understandably upset. We've been arguing about whether I crossed a line by throwing away his stuff, and he's especially upset because, of course, had rare yogurts that were hard to find. Of course. In particular, he had some Cuban and Iranian yogurts that you can't get in the US, but I know that we have trade sanctions against Iran and Cuba, so I don't know if it was even legal for him to have them. I asked where he got his Iranian yogurt, but he kept insisting the Iranian yogurt is not the issue here. You leave my Iranian yogurt out of this. All right, this is between me, you and the fridges, not the Iranian yogurt. Hasn't said a bloody word, it hasn't. And that the real issue was me throwing out his precious yogurts without his permission. Am I the a-hole, or do I need legal advice? Thanks in advance. I'm so exasperated. So am I, love. Bloody hell, that was an absolute roller coaster. I feel like I've just been to Orlando Studios, man. Woo. Okay, let's dive into this. So first off, I feel like your boyfriend definitely has an addiction to collecting, right? The fact that he's got 3 fridges in a studio apartment, that's like a line needs to be drawn. You know, studio apartments, obviously, you know, a lot of the time your kitchen, your bedroom, everything is in the same room, right? You're lucky if you have a bedroom that is in a different room. So basically, space is of the essence here. Okay, and not only have you not got a lot of space, but it's honking. It's honking. You know, you look to your left, yogurt. You look to your right, yogurt. You look straight ahead of you, Iranian yogurt. Everywhere you look, your yogurt, right? It's like being in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but it's not because it's all yogurt. Genuinely, like, you know, when this guy goes into Asda and he goes down like the aisle with yogurt in, I can imagine this guy just feels like he's in heaven. You'd be like a kid in a candy store. Just like, oh my God, all my dreams are coming true. What do you mean? I also want to know, is this guy selling his like yogurt on stock StockX or like on Vinted or something, you know, or is he buying them on Vinted? I bet he's one of those people where someone on Vinted has listed their yogurt for £3 and he offers £2.80 with packaging included. I bet he's one of them fuckers. Can tell it a mile off. Also, I have the same concerns as what you do. Like, where is he getting these rare and possibly illegal yogurts from? Like, is there a dealer for this? You know, is he just like ringing up his dealer? He's like, you alright, mate? Yeah, can you be like 20 minutes? Right, I'll meet at the back shed. Yeah. You got that good Iranian yogurt? You got the Iranian, the Cuban stuff as well, have you? You got a spoon? You better have a spoon for us. Alright, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Cash only. No stress, lad. I just don't understand. There's got to be some shady dealings here. I didn't even know there was illegal yogurts. You know, imagine going to prison for that. What you in for? Oh, you know, just selling and dealing illegal yogurts. I'm not going to lie to you, son. What, you've murdered someone, have you? Right. Well, basically the same thing, innit? I feel like you are a really good girlfriend, but I feel like what you have to remember is this studio flat is yours as well as it is his. Yes, it's very nice that you're supporting his, collecting, which, you could argue is an addiction. You're being very, very lenient here. You have to remember this is your flat too. You're paying rent as well. Like, you can't be walking into your flat and it's stinking. It's not fair. It's not even fair on your boyfriend because, like, is he enjoying this really? Like, is he actually enjoying collecting the yogurt? I'm wondering, like, as a compromise, could you say to him, or could you, like, eat the yogurt? So every time he gets them, he eats them, then he gets to enjoy the yogurt, and then he can collect the packaging. It probably does disrupt the sell-on value if you're eating the substance that is within. But all yogurts have a sell-by date anyway, so if he's keeping them for a long time, they're no use to anybody anyway, so he can't sell them. So you might as well eat them and enjoy them, and then the smell goes away, and then you don't need the fridges, you know? But every single time someone comes round and they say, 2,100 cups of yogurt, you are gonna have to let them know that isn't like the trash, that's just my boyfriend's trophy collection. He's a bit odd, but I love him, right? He's alright once you get to know him. I just can't believe he's collected 2,100 cups. He might be the biggest yogurt collector in the world, and the only yogurt collector in the world, I'll have you that. Go a bit more niche with it. I'm trying to consider whether, you took it too far throwing them all away, because I feel like it's the right thing to do, but I do feel like, if you wanted to be, I feel like having a conversation about it would have been better, and just being like, look, like, the place is stinking, can we come to some sort of compromise? And then you get to see his reaction and see if he's willing to compromise for you, and then you learn a lot more about him as well. I'm not saying you're in the wrong here, but I'm saying there possibly could have been a better way to go about it, but again, I'm kind of giving him a little bit more sympathy than what he deserves. I know he's not hurting anyone here, but he kind of is. Like, I know he's not meaning to, but he's hurting you, and he's making your life a misery, and it's not fair. Your life shouldn't be a misery because of yogurt. Okay? Unless you're lactose intolerant, then that thing will absolutely destroy you. Trust us. Never again. I have to say, like, again, my favourite line from the entirety of this is, the Iranian yogurt is not the issue here. I wonder if he, like, went in the corner after your argument and went, oh, God, sorry about that Iranian yogurt. She can get like this sometimes. Don't worry, it's me and you till the end. We'll get rid of her soon. Then we're gonna have 5 more fridges and you're gonna have more friends. I might do that in my next setup, donuts. Like, I'm moving house soon. I might just, instead of lights, just have yogurt. Right? I don't care if this place smells, if it honks. You can't smell us. I could be smelling terrible right now. You wouldn't have the foggiest. But all in all, you are not the a-hole. I do want to know who his dealer is. Just ask him for a mate. Just quickly, Donut, if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button if you want more videos like this and to be a part of the best community on the internet, the Donuts, right? Get yourself in there. Am I the a-hole for not punishing my 7-year-old daughter for her play relationships? My husband and I have a 7-year-old daughter together, Layla. A few months ago, Layla got a boyfriend, Lucas. They are both 7, so it's obviously not a real relationship. How could you say such a thing? They just hold hands sometimes, and they drew each other hearts for Valentine's Day. Sounds like a relationship to me. This week, Layla was apparently holding hands with another boy who also sent Layla a Valentine's Day love letter, and Lucas took offense to it, so he's shot. We found out because Lucas's parents called to tell us Lucas won't be coming over to us this Saturday like it was originally planned because he is mad at Layla. My husband wants us to punish Layla and wants me to have a talk with her about faithfulness. At first, I thought he was joking, but no, he was serious. He says that Layla cheated on Lucas, and I, as her mother, should do something about it. Why me? Why have I got to say anything? I'm acting like I'm the mother here. I told my husband that Layla is 7, not a cheater, and I won't treat her as such. He then accused me of raising a cheater and encouraging the bad behaviour. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to punish Layla? Oh my God. I don't think I have read a dumber Am I the a-hole post than this in my entire life. Firstly, okay, I don't know if this is a hot take. Surely it shouldn't be. You shouldn't punish your 7-year-old daughter for what were they doing? Holding hands with another boy? Like, why? Like, the dad here is making this into a love kind of, relationship thing. Like, children hold hands all the time. It doesn't mean that they love each other, like in a relationship way. Like, it's weird that the dad's kind of making it this thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is he seeing it as more of like they're adults when they're really not? Like, you see it all the time. Kids just hold hands. It seems like the dad just wants to punish her for any excuse at all. Like, it's almost like he's taking his own insecurities out. Like, if this happened to him, how he would feel and how he would want, the person doing it to be punished for this action. But in reality, she's a child. How many times do I need to say it? I also think it's kind of like funny that Lucas's parents rang them and went, oh, by the way, Lucas won't be coming over because your daughter, upset him because, she's a 2-timer. It's like, give it a rest, man. Like, what do you mean? Ringing them up, oh yeah, they're not coming over as planned because, Layla just wants all the boys, doesn't she? Bloody Layla. It's such a weird parenting dynamic going on here. I don't know if the parents were like having a laugh with it, but I don't think they were, judging by how the dad got really angry at it. It's almost like the dad took offense to this Lucas's parents ringing. So clearly it wasn't a friendly conversation or a conversation that the dad liked to be in. I just find it wild that if you were to discipline her and talk about faithfulness, then, this is going to affect her relationship with like guys in general in the future, because surely she's just going to look at guys and think, oh, I can't talk to another guy because like that means I want him. And even when this other person, I'm not with them. So they're going to overthink every single conversation that they're having. And it's going to have a detrimental effect on relationships when they get older, because children like pick up on little things like this. Like, you think that it's a nothing thing to discipline them about this, but they will take this in and they will like use this when they get older. It forms who they become. So it's so crucial that you don't discipline them here, in my opinion. And you let her just be a child. She's 7. Just let her be a child. Who cares if Lucas is upset? They're 7. They're going to forget about it next week. I wonder if your husband also kind of feels stupid about disciplining her because he isn't doing it himself. Like, he's asking you to do it. And then, obviously, you've said, no, I'm not doing that because I'm not an idiot. And he said, you're now raising a cheater. Surely that means he's raising a cheater as well. I just find this hilarious. Like, at Christmas, like with children, you go, if you haven't been good, you're not going to get any presents. Are they going to give her coal this Christmas? Is she going to get coal in her stocking because you're 2-timed? Like, how far are they going to take this discipline? So strange. Like, what happens if, someone new comes over to the house, like, a friend of the dad's, and the dad goes, oh, this is me wife. Oh, that's me daughter. Oh, and that's the cheater. Don't talk to her, right? She'll steal your bloody wife or your husband. Just so strange. Very weird behaviour from the dad here. He wants to have a day off. Pack it in, will you? Am I the a-hole for limiting my daughter's clothing choices? Okay, to start off, I will give you some background information. I, 43 male, have an extreme aversion to belly buttons. Interesting. And am repulsed and disgusted when I see them. I have politely requested that members of my family do not wear clothing that reveals their belly buttons, as it makes me physically uncomfortable due to childhood trauma that I would not like to get into. Okay, very fair. What happens if like someone new, like, like a boyfriend of a family member comes over for the first time and they come in, like, what happens? Do they get kicked out? It's like, God, what the fuck are you doing? Get out! Showing that thing around here. Do you not have any respect? And then forever, he's just known as like Voldemort, thou that shall not be named. The one that wreaked havoc on Christmas Eve that night. Anyway, I love that I just kind of go off on this tangent and then just fix it by going, anyway and act like nothing had happened. My daughter, 16 female, however, disregards this request and wears crop tops because it's the rage. And I have asked her multiple times to stop and explain to her how it makes me feel, but she just disrespectfully rolls her eyes at me and laughs, blowing the issue off. The issue has become more and more heated, and today I extensively searched through her closet and donated all the crop tops I could find. My daughter cried in her room when I broke the news to her, as she had spent considerable sums on the clothing, and my wife thought I had crossed some major lines. Am I the a-hole? Okay, I'm going to say yes. I feel like you are the a-hole. Definitely. And, you know, first off, right, you have trauma around belly buttons. You have a phobia of them. That is totally fine. That is, you know, I know people that also have that phobia and they just are disgusted by them. That's totally okay. Okay, obviously you've been through something. It's created this. But it is not fair to then put that on to somebody else. Like, everybody knows in your house, everybody knows in your family, but you can't say to your daughter, or you can't show your belly button outside of the house. Like, she's going out. She's like going with her mates. Like, surely she should be able to wear what she wants, you know? I just don't think it's fair. And I really, really think it's an a-hole move to throw all of these out because you don't like them. You know, it's really, really unfair because she doesn't have this phobia and she should be able to, you know, live her life. If that makes her feel confident wearing one of those tops, why can't she do that? Because you don't like looking at them? Again, I am being empathetic that you have this thing. Surely if you know your daughter has a crop top on, could you just say to her, like, or could you even say, look, if you're going to wear one of your crop tops, can you just let me know so that I know to like not look in your direction when you're going out the house? Or can you at least wear a hoodie and then, you know, when you leave, then just take the hoodie off at the door? Like, you can work around this. You didn't have to like sell her crop tops. Like, this is horrific. Especially like, I don't know if she's got a job or, you know, she's used her pocket money if she gets pocket money. Like, she's saved up for these things and then you've just threw it away. That's like really, really cruel. Like, it's really cruel. Okay, so they've put another message saying, like, why is everyone calling me an a-hole? I'm not an a-hole. Let's have a look at the comments. You the a-hole. Deal with your shit. Don't expect your family to dress around it. You the a-hole. I'm not the biggest fan of feet, but I don't force people to wear snow boots all the time. You the a-hole. Oh my God, all the comments. No one is responsible for dressing in a way that makes you comfortable ever. You can't control how people dress. Your trauma is your responsibility. No one else's, least of all your daughter's. You the a-hole. The rage. No, Tina said this. You the a-hole. You need therapy for your hang-ups. If you continue, your daughter's going to have problems too. Now, that is what I was going to get on to. Very much like the last one, where, you know, something you do or say can have an effect on your child. Your daughter even might, you know, start to develop something about her belly button. And you know how traumatic it is that you have this phobia. Why would you also want your daughter to have that phobia as well? Like, it's like you're passing this down. You're being, in my opinion, selfish here. I just don't really think it's very fair to put this limitation on your daughter when she doesn't have this phobia. It's actually really, really harsh. And, you know, you're diminishing her confidence just so that you can feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm really not here for this. I'm not feeling it, fella. I'm not on your side. You the a-hole. There we go. We've got one. Get him. I kind of want this guy to wake up in, like, you know, like a sea of belly buttons and, you know, he can't get out unless... Actually, that's kind of cruel. It's kind of really cruel. I think he deserves it just once. But yeah, I definitely think, you know, if you can just talk to someone about the belly button thing, you might not get over it totally, but at least get to a position where you're not making it everyone else's business, you know? I have a huge phobia of seeing, like, operating things, like, do you know, like Grey's Anatomy or Holby City, where you see the insides and, you know, surgery. I have a huge phobia of that. Like, when I see that, I feel like I'm going to faint. Like, I have to sit down. I can't, like, make I really struggle with it. And I don't know why. But if I walk, like, Chloe loves Grey's Anatomy. If I walk in and Chloe's watching it, I don't tell her to turn it off. I just make sure that I don't look at the screen. There's ways to get around these things without destroying the happiness of everyone around you. Am I the a-hole for buying my girlfriend vanilla shampoo? This is weird. I don't know where this is going. My girlfriend uses different types of shampoo and alternates between them. One of them, a vanilla scented one, is my favourite. She asked me to pick some things up for her at the store, and on my way to check out, I saw the vanilla shampoo and grabbed that too. When I got back to her apartment, she started putting away the things I bought. She was confused by the shampoo and asked me why I got it. I said that I saw it and no, she uses that kind, and grabbed it for her. She said she wasn't running low on shampoo. I said I know, but it doesn't expire and that one is my favourite. I teasingly said that she should use it if she's planning to wash her hair tonight. She asked what I meant by it being my favourite. I said I like the way it makes her hair smell like cookies. Okay. She looked a little weirded out. I asked her if she was okay. She said it was weird that I sexualized her shampoo. I said smelling nice is sexy. I asked if she thinks I'm sexier when I use nice smelling soap and deodorant. She said not really, as long as I don't actively smell bad. I said maybe it's different for everyone. She said honestly it bothered her that something as mundane as shampoo was sexual to me. She asked me if someone else smelled like vanilla, would I be attracted to them? I said no, that she was misunderstanding me. She asked me to clarify, but I don't think I did a good job. I said I specifically liked the smell on her, not on other people. She still seemed put out, so I headed home to give her space. What is going on? Was I an a-hole for buying the shampoo and telling her I liked when she uses it? To me, that's not weird, but maybe that's because I'm a guy. Is there a layer to this I'm not seeing? Okay, so first off, that's a nice thing to do, you know, buy shampoo for your girlfriend, especially when she doesn't need it. You know, you're just topping her up. I like that. That's, you know, just making sure she doesn't have to do it. That's a very kind gesture. Now, obviously, you like the vanilla smell. And, you know, you like smell is a big thing to you, I guess. Like, if something smells good, you know, it makes you feel good, I guess. I didn't really take this as a sexual thing until, like, the girlfriend said it. But then I guess I teasingly said that she should use it if she's planning to wash her hair tonight. I don't know if that is a sexual thing. Initially I didn't catch it as that, so I didn't think it was creepy. I don't know if the girlfriend kind of took it defensively as it being creepy, but then again, like, I do feel like it's a little bit of an overreaction from the girlfriend. Like, it's just vanilla shampoo. Like, her first thought was, oh, if someone else had vanilla shampoo on, would that make you attracted to them? And that is a little bit of an insecurity, I think. I'm just so confused. Like, why did you have to go home to give her space? Like, this has just been made out to be such a bigger thing than what it actually is. Like, is it really that deep? Like, honestly, you've bought a shampoo because you like the smell of it, and now you're having an argument. Like, I just think there's definitely some more underlying issues in your relationship here, because this is just such a weird response to this happening. Like, if Chloe bought me a shampoo that I don't normally use, but she was like, oh, I like the smell of this, I don't think I would initially think, oh, well, have you smelled this on someone else? Like, or if someone else had this on, like, I would just be like, all right, I'll try it, I'll see if I like it. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. Like, I don't know. I just think this is a very intense reaction here. Let me know what you think about this one, Donuts. I might be missing the mark with this one. I'm trying to see it from her point of view. The only thing I can think is, like, maybe there's been reasons for her to not trust him in the past. I don't know. How can you get that from vanilla shampoo? That's what I mean. I also don't know if he is sexualizing her shampoo. Like, sexualizing shampoo, wouldn't that mean that he's, like, kind of, you know, put his willy in it? Then you'd be like, whoa, what are you doing? Right? That's for Head and Shoulders, not for willy. Okay? Obviously, she isn't kind of seeing this from your point of view as well. Like, because she's saying, oh, like, what, you find it hot when like, I smell nice? Like, that's weird. Like, that isn't really weird. You know, like, a lot of people are into that. What are the comments saying? I feel like I might be off on this one. I would have thought it was sexy and cute. You're not the a-hole at all. The most romantic thing my husband did for me was buy me a personal pizza with olives on, because I told him I like it, but hadn't ordered one in years because I just eat what everyone else likes and they don't like olives. Yeah, I feel like if you did this for the girlfriend in OP's post, she'd be like, what, if you ate olives with someone else? Ah, right. Oh, I think it's weird that you sexualise my olives. Are you going to shove your willy in the olive, are you? Make it olive oil. Not the a-hole, what on earth, you did something nice. She should have said thank you. Yeah, this is what I think. Your girlfriend certainly is for making it weird. She needs to take a deep breath and relax. As a woman myself, if my boyfriend bought me shampoo he knows I use and he likes the smell of it, I'd be so flattered and touched. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I am off here. Let me know what your opinion was on this. But I just think this is such an overreaction. Okay, Donut, shall we do one more? Do you want one more? Let's do one more. Right, bonus round. Am I the a-hole for telling my menopausal wife that she looks like she's 50 years old? Okay. Maybe should have quit while we were ahead. I'm 53 male, most likely the a-hole. Okay, I'm kind of rating the self-awareness here. I think my wife, 53 female, is gorgeous. You think? You should know, fella. Not I think she's all right. I think she looks more beautiful now than the day I married her. We've been privileged that we have money, so we've been able to take care of our health. She's in good shape, she gets a lot of compliments, but the annoying thing is recently she keeps putting down other women's looks behind their backs. She will pick at every perceived flaw. She talks about how she's more beautiful and looks younger than other women. I have told her it's not nice, but she says she's just being honest. As I said before, I think my wife is gorgeous. She also has wrinkles and age spots since she's 53. Okay. One day my wife and I ran into a former colleague of mine who's a woman in her 30s. As soon as we reached home, my wife was talking about how she's more beautiful and looks younger than the colleague. I told my wife that I think she's more beautiful than the colleague, but she looks like a 50-year-old woman. My wife looks shattered. She started saying that she's going through menopause and that her body is breaking down. I told her I think she's beautiful and sexy. I tried to hug her, but she moved away. She asked why would I want to seduce an old woman. She then got angry and said in a crude way, maybe I'm having relations with my former colleague. Out of the blue, she said that maybe I'm having relations with a woman in her 20s. Okay, then even more out of the blue, she said she's white and I'm not, so that's why she looks much older than me. I asked her, where did that come from? She started crying and said I'm shaming her for aging. She's been really upset ever since. Am I the a-hole? Okay, so firstly, I think that your wife is obviously going through a very emotional and stressful period. Like, I'm going through menopause, okay? Very, like, hormones are flying all over. You know, you're probably not thinking very logically. You're probably thinking just very emotionally because obviously you're just everywhere, right? Like, it's a huge change in someone's life going through that. Now, obviously she's been quite bitter towards like younger women, you know, she's kind of putting younger women down, which isn't very nice. You know, you often, like Chloe says that when she's at work, like people that are often the most nasty to her are like older women. Be it like, whereas they'll be different with like younger guys, they'll be nicer to the younger guys at work, but not necessarily the younger women. Not obviously not all like older women are like this, but some older women can become bitter and, you know, be envious. And it definitely seems like your wife is, you know, envious of like younger people here. That's why she's trying to put herself above them. But also it's kind of from an insecurity thing. She might be thinking because she's going through menopause or because she's getting older that she, you know, she might not be as confident in what she looks like. And this might be more an internal thing. And she might not actually mean what she's saying. She's not trying to be nasty to these people. It might just be more of a reflection of how she's feeling about herself. But obviously if she's constantly putting other people down and she's got this negative energy about her, you've obviously just snapped and went, look, you are beautiful, but you are 50. I don't know if I would have said this because I feel like, you know, I don't know. I feel like her hearing this is just like crushing her because you're preying on her insecurities here. Like, I would have hoped that if I was in this relationship, I would have realised that the reason why she's saying this is because she's insecure. So I'm just going to try and make her feel more secure, which you have done. To be fair, you have kind of said many times that you think she's beautiful. You've just said one comment that, you know, she looks like a 50-year-old woman, which isn't even a negative thing because she is 53. So she is a 50-year-old woman. I definitely think that your wife needs some sort of, you know, maybe it's like even just a bit of therapy, to talk to someone, to process the emotions she's going through. She definitely needs some external help. I think she would benefit a lot from that, to really just kind of, you know, discover what is actually going on here and get to the root of why she is being so, I guess, horrible to these younger people and kind of, you know, being, you know, accusing you of doing horrible things when you've given no reason to think so. Like, you've just spoke to a former colleague who's in her 30s and your wife has said you're having an affair with her. Like, that isn't nice for you. That is very toxic from her, very insecure from her, and she's putting them insecurities onto you, which is not nice. And I can imagine from your perspective, this is a really, really toxic relationship to be a part of. And it's your wife, and you know, you've been together for a long time. You probably know this is not the real her, which is why you're giving her a lot of grace, which is really good. But I definitely think she needs to talk to someone because, yes, she's being an a-hole here, but I don't know if she actually is an a-hole, if you know what I mean. I feel like she's... I don't know if I'm giving her more grace than she probably deserves, but I feel like she's acting like an a-hole, but realistically, she's probably like a nice person. Maybe, I don't know this person though. She might just be an absolute a-hole. I just like to look on the brighter side of things sometimes. Okay, your wife needs therapy. Yeah, I did say that. I don't know your wife's personality to know whether this is a relatively new thing for her, but I can say that perimenopause and menopause are brutal. And by that I mean there are so many more effects than I think most people realise. I personally became significantly more anxious and emotional, sensitive to others' statements and comments about me, and my mental health declined generally. But yeah, this is what I was saying. You know, like, this might not actually be her. She's just going through a lot right now. And, you know, she's just a little bit more on edge. So I think, you know, you just, it's so hard because you shouldn't have to walk on eggshells in a relationship. Like, you should be able to say, you know, like a comment like, oh yeah, you are beautiful, but remember, you are 50. Like, that's not necessarily a really bad thing to say, but just appreciate that, you know, your wife is going through a period where she might take offense to this. But I'm not saying you're the a-hole. I don't even know if anyone is the a-hole here. I just think it's just a really, really touchy kind of, it's just a really touchy time. Right. Sorry, Donuts. I feel like, I don't know if I sat on the fence a bit there. I don't feel like I did, actually. I just didn't want to call anyone an a-hole there because I definitely think it's a lot more layered than just the surface level. Anyway, Donuts, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I absolutely love doing these videos. I know these are definitely like a fan favourite within my core community. They don't really get out as much, I don't think, as much as what other videos. But yeah, if you can drop a like on this video, I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to watch another video from me where we look at the worst Am I the A-hole posts from all time, click this video right here. People love this video. I'll see you over there. Bye bye.